Adams,
Here.
Adamley,
Here.
Adamowski,
Here.
Anderson, Anderson,
Here.
Bueller, 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 Bueller.
He's sick. My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid is going with the girl who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night. I guess it's pretty serious.
Thank you, Simone.
No problem whatsoever.
Hey readers, did you catch all that? If you're like me, you may have missed some of that information, and that's why today we're going to work on analyzing the connections and distinctions between individuals, ideas, or events in a text. That means tracing one person, idea, or an event throughout the text to see how an author might use comparisons, analogies, or categories to show us the connections between all these different things. For example, in that video clip, if we want to answer "Where's Ferris?", we have to trace the connection between all those people the girl named to figure out why he's not in class. When you want to find the connections within a text, it's not quite as easy as just making a list of people. Instead, you need to keep track of your own comprehension by using post-its, highlighting or marking up the text, or taking notes. You should also ask yourself questions like, what caused this to happen? Or how would this idea, person, or event be different if that thing didn't happen? You can also look for comparisons the author makes in the text. Let's apply these strategies to the article, Who Invented Facebook? Notice how I keep track of my own comprehension by stopping and highlighting the text, and I'm also going to ask myself questions so I can trace the connections of ideas and people I see in this article. Mark Zuckerberg launched Facebook from his Harvard dorm room on February 4, 2004. An earlier inspiration for Facebook may have come from Phillips Exeter Academy, the prep school from which Zuckerberg graduated in 2002. It published its own student directory, the Photo Address Book, which students referred to as the Facebook. Such photo directories were an important part of the student social experience at many private schools. With them, students were able to list attributes such as their class years, their friends, and their telephone numbers. Once at college, Zuckerberg's Facebook started off as just a Harvard thing until Zuckerberg decided to spread it to other schools. Samir Lane shared a room with Zuckerberg during Facebook's founding. Mark was clearly on to great things, said Lane, who is Facebook's 14th user. Now let's go back and use some of our strategies. I want to focus on this question: how did Zuckerberg get the idea for Facebook? And if I take a look at some of the important parts I've highlighted or marked up, I can see that where he went to prep school seems to be a big influence in his Facebook idea. I can also see a comparison the author made, that Zuckerberg decided to spread his Facebook to other schools outside of Harvard, which is slightly different than what happened at his prep school. So by using the strategy of highlighting, looking for comparisons, and asking myself questions, I can trace the connection of Zuckerberg's prep school with his Facebook idea. Let's continue reading. Zuckerberg moved to Palo Alto, California with some friends. They leased a small house that served as an office. Over the summer, Zuckerberg met Peter Thiel, who invested in the company. They got their first office in mid-2004. According to Zuckerberg, the group planned to return to Harvard, but eventually decided to remain in California. They had already turned down offers by major corporations to buy the company. On July 21, 2010, Zuckerberg reported that the company reached the 500 million user mark. Vanity Fair magazine named Zuckerberg #1 on its 2010 list of the top 100 most influential people of the information age. Zuckerberg ranked number 23 on the Vanity Fair 100 list in 2009. In 2010, Zuckerberg was chosen as number 16 in New Statesman's annual survey of the world's 50 most influential figures. Let's stop and ask ourselves another question. What else seems to be leading to Zuckerberg's success? I highlighted in the first paragraph that he turned down offers from major corporations to buy his company. And I'm thinking, what would have been different if he had sold Facebook to other corporations? I think the author is pointing out this comparison to show us it was a factor in his success. And I noted in the last paragraph, the author is pointing out just how many awards and how much recognition Zuckerberg attained, which is a clear sign of his success. And I'm thinking that without winning all of these awards, Facebook might not have gained as much popularity as it did. Let's finish reading the article, again thinking about other factors that led to his success. In a 2011 interview with PBS after the death of Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg said that Jobs had advised him on how to create a management team at Facebook that was focused on building as high quality and good things as you are. Zuckerberg is now the world's second youngest self-made billionaire. Now I want you to take a minute and think about what other factors did we just read about that led to Zuckerberg's success. Remember that we're trying to find the connection between his success and other ideas, events, or people in the text. Were you able to trace any of these connections that led to his success? The author points out several factors to us: that he decided to expand his Facebook past Harvard, unlike what happened at his prep school, that he got advice from industry leaders like Steve Jobs, that he decided not to sell Facebook to another company, which we said was a good comparison that might have led to his success, and that he also started winning several awards and receiving recognition, which increased Facebook's popularity. So Zuckerberg's connection to these different events, ideas, and people ultimately led to his success. To recap, in order to trace these connections between people, events, or ideas in a text, you need to keep track of your own comprehension by highlighting or marking up the text or taking notes. You need to ask yourself questions about what caused different things to happen in the text, and keep an eye out for comparisons the author makes.